The blanket, the thermal blankets. And a thermal blanket is like a sleeping bag, basically. It's mounted the exact same way as this on the outside of the greenhouse. So at nighttime, you hold the blanket over top, and again, the heat goes up so far, hits the blanket, bounces back. Can't escape, bounces back. So it keeps the heat inside the greenhouses. Next morning, thermal blanket comes back. Cold air is allowed to hit, but as long as it hits the aluminum, can't penetrate, warms that area up. Once that area is warmed, then the aluminum sheet comes off, and you've just retained your heat all night and not lost any heat overnight. If it is this high, we'll just build a frame and just pull right over top so that the heat will go up, hit the aluminum, bounce back, up, bounce back, and stay right in there. So I mean, the aluminum sheet cloth
is a solar design would not have glass or transparency through the north side. It would be all insulated, just because you don't really get that much light through that side. You only gain like maybe 5-10%, and then you can insulate all the north sides. So that's what a solar greenhouse would be like.
Where we had no, we're using just poly houses and no additional heating source, and we ran 10 months of a year with no additional heating on those things. So we were able to run right up until December and start again by March 1st we were able to start. I mean, you can feel the heat in here already, and you can see it's already open. So we're cooling it. It's too hot in here. So we're already cooling in March. Now, so we were doing the same thing January, February. We could roll bedding plants, for example. Yes, LEDs will work and way more efficient. Fixtures cost more to buy. Lights cost more to buy. But longevity of the bulbs is something like, I don't know, it's 100 times or something like that. For every one LED, it's 27 or 35 or something incandescents. It's just a huge difference. There's no advantage of growing things in a greenhouse in the summer. We've got plenty of light and heat outside. Having said that, there are crops that will do better inside the greenhouse than outside, tropical crops that we traditionally don't go here anyways with a long growing season.
The most efficient way, I think, is of growing food and stuff is to try to extend the season. So instead of having a greenhouse going all winter, you would just extend from your spring and your fall seasons, and you don't have to have like a huge structure like this. You could just have what are called low tunnels and high tunnels, and all it is like a mini greenhouse in the ground, and all you're doing is extending the season by a month or so, and also you can grow stuff here that you might not imagine. Like I was growing watermelon that were as big as anything in the store, muskmelon that were as big as anything. And
so the real benefit is actually water conservation, believe it or not. The fish would actually, if I just had fish in the tank, they would actually eventually dirty the tank. You actually have to change out the water. And the plants, usually when you water plants, you have that drain through. Well, the drain through is caught by the fish tanks. And so basically the fish make the water dirty, they clean, and that is the nutrients for the fish. The plants take those nutrients out and return the fish to clean water. So it actually keeps you from having to lose water from the drainage of the plants, or lose water from cleaning your fish tank out. So
there's a lot of herbs that just don't process well. You can't dry. Basil, dill, you can't do anything with basil. Even freezing it still loses quality. So fresh basil, way better. And if you can do it under proper light conditions to get the high oil content, wow.
Greenhouses would be another opportunity where, with herbs, the volume of herbs we use them regularly, all the fresh herbs throughout the year. And if that was at all possible to purchase that here on campus. Yeah, so like I mentioned in the past, what we've done is the one year, it was a little bit after the fact because they had everything planted, but what we did the one year was we approached them, or they approached us, I forget how it worked, but we went up to their field and really saw what they had, and we were able to commit to things, and basically what we told them, they're not allowed to sell their stuff off of campus because it's all educational funded, or for whatever reason they don't want to be at the farmers market selling stuff. So, but for us it was a good fit to be able to provide them the items here. So our deal to them was that we would purchase those products at market value. So in turn the money would go back to the horticulture club, supporting a student initiative, and it's sort of a win-win where they could it funds their project. We're able to serve very local produce, ENVS grown produce. So I think that really worked out well, and I think those are the sort of partnerships that I think we need to really work on. And
if you're going to do produce in the university campus, you're going to need a different greenhouse other than what's there, right? Most of that is research, and like I said, G's kind of a catch-all for everything else. So you need a lot bigger space. Yeah. However, greenhouse production in food isn't the only thing. There's growth chambers. Like if you want to do microgreens, you can do them on shelves. You can do them in a room under fluorescent lights. It's at about a 10-day to 2-week harvest interval, and you can really pump that out if you think along that way. Or sprouts.
Concept is vertical hydroponic farming. So basically, we're growing vertically is the biggest thing. Secondly, we're hydroponic. Thirdly, I guess we're urban as well. So we're growing inside. There's a few different things we're hitting on. Well, basically, greenhouses are very expensive to heat. Cooling requires a lot of water. There's a ton of transpiration from the actual plants. So they're constantly watering. They're constantly cooling. So basically what we're doing is our energy costs are, we light our crop for a short amount of time. Obviously our crop is a 7-day crop, so we actually put light on for 4 of those. You always make